Battle of the backups coming this Sunday. Let's get into it. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are 4 days past the sting of the loss to the Falcons, 3 days past the sting of finding out that J.J. McCarthy would be missing some time with an ankle injury. We have completely moved on. We are fully on board with Team Carson Wentz, sort of. we got an interesting one. Every time that we seem to play the Bengals in recent history, especially the last two meetings, it comes down to being backup quarterbacks against each other. So we do have Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. Again, it's unfortunate the thing what happened with JJ McCarthy. We're not going to get to see him continue to develop, but life goes on. You still got to try to find a way to win some of these games, especially with the way that it's this last game went and the first part of the Bears game went with not being able to get anything going on offense. So, but look, it's still early in the season. It's easy to be down in the dumps with everything that's kind of gone on so far, but there's still a lot of football to be played. This is still a talented as hell football team. Sure, some things need to be fixed, but I trust Kevin O'Connell and the coaching staff to get this team where it needs to go. And I guess one of the big things that I like to hear, I didn't get to watch the press conference of it, but I read about it, that Wes Phillips mentioned that they were kind of looking at getting some quicker passes in the passing game and some quicker plays.
Finally,
so hopefully all that comes to fruition. Hopefully, now that Mason's your bell cow back, hopefully we start to run the ball a little bit more. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's tough. I know it can be kind of a bummer with everything going on, but we're gonna be all right. It all starts by beating the Bengals at home this coming Sunday. Finally, a normal ass noon game, which is kind of exciting.
Right.
Let's get going.
I know, just excited for noon games. Just I don't know. It's just the
only one before the bye week. Then we have the two early games.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is the other. That is kind of weird.
Schedule where it's Eagles short week.
Yep.
Chargers. So it's a daunting schedule from here on out. But
yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, like what you said though. I mean, obviously the season hasn't really started the way we wanted to. We did beat the Bears, obviously with that comeback, which was really exciting and everything. But last week was just such a obviously J.J. McCarthy injury, but that's how bad that game felt, is that it's just kind of like feels such a buzzkill. I feel like obviously, you get half the fan base against J.J. McCarthy already in all those kinds of things, which does suck, but it is what it is. He's going to be hurt forever. It's going to be interesting to see how all that rolls out. I know Casey for sure. If there's one thing he's not excited for, it would be Wentz coming in, playing well, and then it comes down to who should start, Wentz versus J.J. McCarthy. Even though I know Casey loves when everybody has nothing else to talk about but the quarterback situation and whether or not the one quarterback should start or not. The Sam Darnold conversations, the Kirk Cousins conversations, all of those things.
I did kind of stoke the fire on the Sam Darnold conversation end of last year, though, before the last 2 weeks.
So the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he turned around. Usually he's like, well, that's all everyone's going to talk about.
It is.
It is going to be 100%. If Wentz plays good,
which we hope
we might as well not even have pre-games or post-games anymore because nobody will even care.
Yeah, but we hope. I think you said it Monday. We hope, or Tuesday. We hope we have that conversation. Like we hope that by the bye week, we're talking about like, man, what should we do here? But again, I think we're both in agreement on what would happen if we get to that point. But obviously, that's still games down the road here.
Yeah.
Games and a whole trip overseas down the road.
But we'll jump into this game specifically, starting with. I mean, you got to talk about the quarterback. You got to talk about Carson Wentz, former MVP that got hurt and won a Super Bowl.
He didn't win MVP. He was MVP type season.
Oh, well, he could. Wait, he didn't win MVP? I thought he did.
I don't think they gave him MVP. No.
Oh,
who did they give it? The last couple of games. But
okay, that's what it was. But an MVP type season could have been an MVP.
He could have. He
was favorite to be MVP'd until that injury. Super Bowl champion, obviously wasn't the one to actually win the Super Bowl, but hey, has somewhat experience. He has a Super Bowl ring. That's all I know. And then Minnesota, or I don't know if is he from North Dakota? I don't even actually know what city he's from. Went to NDSU, grew up a Vikings fan.
I think he smelled that way.
That's like the exciting thing because, of course, when he went into the draft, kind of like Trey.
Born in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm sure he moved around here, obviously.
Yeah. Because he became a Viking fan.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. He probably moved to the Midwest somewhere.
Moved to North Dakota at the age of 3. So
yeah. So North Dakota. We'll call him North Dakota. So Grip is a Vikings fan. Obviously, you don't pick the Panthers, for sure in that scenario. But Group of Vikings fan, went to NDSU, coming out of the draft. I knew the Vikings didn't have a shot to even get him at whatsoever. I don't remember what our whole quarterback situation was the year, or what our record was. I don't know what
20 wasn't he drafted in 2017? Wasn't that like
no? Because 2017 was the year they won the Super Bowl, right? That was his hurt year.
Oh yeah, right. 2016. So we were still who did we have in 20? Was that still Teddy? Was that the year? That was the year Teddy. That was the year Teddy messed up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So our situation was all crazy.
They actually didn't they? I mean, I don't know. So I'm sure some of the picks that we traded them helped them be able to move up and get Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, they probably did. But yeah, I mean, a lot of Viking fans, it was a scenario where you're like, oh, that'd be sick if you could get Carson Wentz. Obviously, it was pretty much impossible. And then, he goes to the Eagles, ends up being pretty good. And then all of a sudden his career he gets injured, and then his career kind of just takes an absolute nosedive, and he becomes that quarterback who, it's like the quarterback that could have been type of thing. And that's kind of how it has been for like the rest of his career. He's been able to come in and play solid. Like, he seems like he'd be a solid backup. I definitely wanted him over like a Nick Mullins or even Sam Howell or anything like that. We were still kind of rooting for him as being that veteran. And I know our guy Too Evil has been asking for Carson Wentz forever. But I was always cool with the idea of if he came here to play backup or whatever. That's exactly what happened. But now he's not backup. He is starting, and has, like I mentioned, has just the experience. It'll be interesting to see how he does on this team. He's only been here for a month or whatever, like a month with the Vikings. So I don't know what the connections he's developed or whatever, but he's been around for a while. He should be like, at this point, you feel like he should be like a guy like Joe Flacco or something, where he comes in and it doesn't take him too long just because he knows kind of the ins and outs of the games. At least that's what we are hoping for to win this game. I mean, if you ask me straight up who I'd rather have, Carson Wentz or Jake Browning, even though Jake Browning destroyed us, I probably still would say Carson Wentz, in my opinion. I still feel like we're in the better shape at quarterback than they are this week. I think the big thing was because when you look at that, I mean, obviously it doesn't mean anything at the time of drafting, but he was a number 2 overall pick for a reason. Like, he has that pedigree. Jake Browning, he came to us as an undrafted free agent. That's a big reason why you'd rather have Carson Wentz, because he's been there, done that. He was a highly drafted quarterback. And when you look at his stats, in all honesty, they've never been awful, but they just haven't, the winning hasn't happened the way that the way that the Eagles would have liked when they first initially drafted him. But yeah, because honestly, looking at his numbers, outside 2020 was where it all kind of went downhill for him. 15 picks, 12 starts, got hurt a little bit. But outside of that, he had 14 his rookie year, three seasons in a row with 33-7, 21-7, 27-7 touchdown to interception ratio. So and even 2021 with the Colts was 27-7, starting all 17 games. So it's there's pedigree there, and he hasn't been awful. He just never, it didn't really live up to that billing from a winning perspective of a number 2 overall pick. So it's I fully trust he can come in here and at least run the offense, right? I mean, I believe that was one thing. I was watching some Pat McAfee, and he kind of said it's kind of a ride. You get some high highs and you get some low lows. You get some bad mistakes, which is the reason why he's been on 6 teams in 6 different years now. So I don't know. It's just it's one of those things where you feel like he, again, just kind of like how we felt with Darnold to start last year. I feel like at the very worst, he could come in and just run the offense, which is kind of what we were hoping McCarthy could do. Right. But a lot of it, again, does come down to offensive line holding up and Kevin O'Connell play calling, all that stuff. Carson Wentz can only do is what, as much as the team around him can do. And we need to be better at all fronts. But I think at the very least, bright side of things, getting a veteran in there who's played a lot will at least be able to maybe settle things down from an offensive perspective, find some sort of rhythm while the team continues to get healthy, and then make that decision on what you do at quarterback down the road once McCarthy's healthy. Yeah. And that's kind of where we're at here. And I hope, we hope he comes in here and plays pretty well. I'm kind of with you. I don't really, and I know T-Bass is in here saying the whole thing, like the Super Bowl contender thing, I don't want to have that. I hope they're not going to come out and say JJ. They could have already came out and said JJ is our quarterback or whatever. I think they maybe are leaving some room open for that. Obviously, I would say, because I'm on team still. I mentioned it before when it comes to Carson Wentz that, I think if you play him for the rest of the season, it becomes Super Bowl or bust. And if we don't win a Super Bowl, then you just wasted a whole year of JJ McCarthy's development or a whole year of finding out if JJ McCarthy was going to be the guy or not. So I'm like kind of in that camp where I'm like, I'm hoping it doesn't get, I don't know. I'm still wanting to see JJ McCarthy go in there unless Wentz just tears it up like significantly. But the good point people do have though is like, if I guess it's fair to say, like, I know it's going to be JJ McCarthy's lingering ankle injury, and if it was like Carson Wentz is playing really well and you're just like, what's the why rush it type of thing. But still, but that's a fair point. So I don't know, it's gonna be complicated. We're gonna have tons of time to continue talking about that. For now though, Carson Wentz, let's have himself a game this week, man.
Yeah, again, you get over the initial sting of losing your young franchise quarterback that you like to see develop into a franchise quarterback. Once you get over the sting of that and realize that it's still early, these players still care. Like, I think the attitude in the building is still solid. I mean, even watching, Justin Jefferson's press conference, like, you can tell he hasn't lost any of that. He's still trying to keep things upbeat. Like, I think he realizes the team is still talented. He trusts any quarterback that can go in there because he's played with Carson Wentz. I'd like to see the numbers on that. How many different starting quarterbacks has JJ McCarthy played with? Just add Carson Wentz to the list now.
Yeah.
It's wild, absolutely nuts.
Right.
But again, it feels like the vibes in the building are still good. I mean, honestly, the lowest vibes I've seen is kind of Kevin O'Connell in some of his press conferences. I think he does take things hard. I think he gets a little bit too downtrodden. So he's just gotta,
because he's been through. I mean, he's just this. It does seem like every other year you just get hit by these injuries. It's just like, I don't know. You could tell he was very annoyed by that whole quarterback carousel year. That's why they went out and made sure they had backups to their quarterbacks, made sure. So you do not want to start this season the way it has as far as the injuries, which we'll get into in a second here. But first though, I want to thank everybody for popping in, keeping the spirits alive. 2 weeks in, there's a lot left in the season. We just need these injuries. That's the whole thing. It's kind of injuries. It's not just JJ McCarthy. It's been injuries. All of a sudden, injuries seemed all right. All of a sudden, Darrisaw is going to be back. All this stuff. Then all of a sudden, Darrisaw keeps getting pushed. All of a sudden, in the middle of August, we get the Harrison Smith thing, the CJ Ham thing, the Andrew Van Ginkel thing. And it's ever since then, we just went downhill from there. And yeah, I don't know. It's obviously super annoying, especially, when you do have a young quarterback on this team. Not the best way to start. Jordan Addison's suspension on top of all that. And then you get some exciting news getting Adam Thielen, and then, but even that hasn't been going like that. I mean, no one on offense is really doing that much in the passing game other than Justin Jefferson. Actually, and Jalen Naylor has probably been the most reliable. Even Justin Jefferson's dropping balls out there. TJ Hawkinson kind of looking kind of crazy. I know Ivan Pace, hopefully he takes a step up or something.
The one catch he had, he did break a tackle.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you wanted to say that. Yeah,
he did break a tackle. He only had one catch, but he broke a tackle on that catch.
I mean, if I remember correctly, I think someone said he can never break a tackle or something around that. Can break a single tackle. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go into injuries, though, because I got the injury reports up on my screen just to take another peek at both sides of these. Let's see here. Bro is ass. Jefferson will start losing patience fast if he starts not getting the ball.
I don't even know if I'd call it losing patience necessarily. I mean, I think with him, as long as they're winning, he's fine. It's not patience. It's more of just if we're not winning, I do need to see the football because I can help us. So I don't know if it's patience. I think it's more of just we got to go here, and I'm your best.
Yeah, exactly. Which is definitely, honestly, kind of fair.
For sure.
Kind of fair.
Which is why we've been saying since week one, he needs to just be what the Randy ratio. He needs to do the same thing with Jefferson. He needs to see the ball in your first few drives. There needs to be scripted plays that get him the ball, and not. I'm sick of this whole behind the line of scrimmage shit. Let's start. And that's what I hope when Wes Phillips mentioned it. Let's hope they start implementing some slants. Especially when you get Jordan Addison back. We've talked about that. If you have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, two of the better route runners in football, both running a slant route, one of them ought to do it well enough to get open. right? Like,
yeah. What's going on, Two-Toned? Anyways, let's jump into some of this stuff here. So I guess I could just put it up on the screen, huh? Why not? I'll put these on the screen. All right. Let's see here. We'll just do this. All right. Oh, gotta move that little bar there. All right. So, no, we'll start with ours. We'll go in to see what's over there. Obviously, our list is
maybe zoom in a tad bit if you can.
I will. Our list is twice. Oh, they actually have both of ours here. Wait, do we do that on there as well? Oh yeah, we did. Sweet. Okay. So, not optimal. Ours is twice, more than twice as long, probably. Actually, one thing I don't know if we talked about Cam Akers is a Viking again.
Oh,
that's always fun.
It did happen.
Yeah, that's always fun. Ryan Kelly did not participate. So center not looking good. JJ McCarthy, we knew that. Skul. So these three we kind of knew. Jonathan Grenard full. That's good. Donovan Jackson, that's a new one. I didn't even realize was on there.
I mean, limited participation again.
Yeah,
as long as there's no downgrade or anything or no mismatches. I feel that's what I mean. You don't want to see the injuries, obviously, but the limited doesn't necessarily bother me as much. Well, and obviously tomorrow is the big day. Friday,
to find out, right?
Friday injury report. When people get with designations, that's when it's kind of.
Well, we should see Andrew Van Ginkel. It sounds like there's a good chance Harrison Smith plays, but he might be on some sort of snap count.
Right. That was a planned day off from the sounds of it as well.
And then Jeff Okudah, which a lot of people are saying with Christian Darrisaw that. I don't even know. His is kind of weird. He's getting full participation last week as well. Ends up not playing. Some people are speculating that it's like his decision not to get on the field. Which at the end of the I think he's a competitor. I believe that Christian Darrisaw, he wouldn't be as good as he is if he wasn't. And if you feel like you shouldn't be on the field, if it was this case, I don't know if it is. Most players don't ever say that. Most players will get on the field even if they are injured. So if he's saying that, it probably isn't. It probably is fair. But we need to get him out there. And I know a lot of people are also saying don't bring JJ McCarthy back until Christian Darrisaw is back in there. And I feel like that's fair too. Pretty soon here. I mean, at this rate, we're going to be down to Max Brosmer at any time here. Yeah. And then we're going to have to bring Ritter up and go all crazy there. But hopefully not. Let's just get over this freaking injury bump here. We got a lot of limited here,
right? Like the hope is that you just kind of weather the storm of the injuries, get to the bye week, get some wins under your belt, 3-2 at the very least, and move on out to a daunting schedule after the bye, of course. But move on to that and kind of see where you end up. But
yep. Cincinnati, a lot smaller. Like I said, got a couple big names here though did not participate. Shamar Stewart, that's the rookie, correct? Yeah.
Yep.
That's the rookie, did not participate. He's been good so far in the first 2 weeks. The Bengals were smart to keep him around. I know at the very least, I think he led all defensive players in PFF grade after the first week, or at least set first or second. Maybe Will Johnson was first, and then Cam Taylor-Britt. The Cincinnati's secondary has not been good this year. They've allowed the 5th most yards. I think they're tied or just about. I think they're tied for second or something.
Oh, I think I lost him. Definitely lost him. So like you said, definitely not an ideal injury list. Damn it, Jamie. Let me see here. We'll let him work his way back. But yeah, definitely not ideal. Christian Darrisaw, and I kind of thought this too. Like obviously, I mean, with other players, smaller frames, like I do feel like you got to be a little more careful with the ACL, considering the size of Darrisaw, plus just the physicality of having to pass block some of these edge rushers. Definitely. I definitely do feel like you got to be a little more cautious with that as well. May have to report everything anymore because of gambling. I'm surprised they don't report it. Jesus. Hey, what's going on, Lone Wolf? Let's get excited for week 3. Yeah, man, we're trying to do that. I mean, obviously, hasn't been the start that any of us wanted. But still, that's the thing. I feel like around, and I'm part of it too. I was talking with some guys at work about it as well. It feels like it's already been like 2 months of the season, and we're literally only 2 weeks in. So much more football left to be played here. And obviously, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I trust. Look, Kevin O'Connell, you can blame him all you want so far. I blamed him as well. I do trust though that he'll get this team rolling. I think committing to the run is gonna be an absolute thing that needs to happen. And that needs to start this game, especially if your offensive line is fully healthy, which doesn't sound. I would doubt Ryan Kelly plays, which is unfortunate. But as long as we get Darisaw back, at least that starts on the left side of the line with the rookie guard. At least that kind of starts clearing that up a little bit. But outside of that, that's kind of all to report on the injury note. I mean, Thursdays, it's important to see, but obviously it kind of comes down to what that Friday injury report looks like when they get designations and everything. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But now moving on to keys to victory. Let me see here. Yes, starting off at number 1, and that is force Jake Browning into mistakes. I mean, obviously, Jake Browning in his time with the Bengals has looked solid. We saw him a couple years ago. You should have never fucking cut me game. And he played pretty well in that game. I think he had 2 touchdowns against us. And obviously, we were unable to pull out the win. But last week came in for Joe Burrow mid-game. Ended up playing pretty well again. I think 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of them to Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase actually ended up with 160 receiving yards. But look, he also threw 3 interceptions, and he's a backup for a reason. Undrafted kid. We should know that the Vikings actually were the team that made him an undrafted free agent. And when he had time here, I mean, there was we had all the other injuries to the quarterbacks. He came in at the night practice and looked really good. So he's a solid backup quarterback, obviously, but he's a backup, so he can make mistakes and hopefully get Van Ginkel back this week. Grenard needs to clean it up a little bit. Hasn't been super impressive yet, but we know what he can do. And Dallas Turner did have a sack last week. Again, I don't think we've seen enough that we were all hoping to see the jump from Turner this year. So hopefully, if he needs to mix in there with Van Ginkel, because I'm sure Van Ginkel won't be probably be limited a little bit, especially with the concussion issues. But we would definitely like to see Dallas Turner step it up and all these edge rushers get after it. Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave has been probably our best, one of our best guys at getting after the quarterback so far this year. Again, and I think that's part of the issue with us not being able to stop the run the last couple of weeks. When we brought those guys in, we knew they weren't run stoppers, but definitely get after in the passing game. So we got to look, if we can get firing on all cylinders with our edge rushers and those 2 guys in the middle, get after Browning, he'll throw up a couple meatballs that you might be able to take away, get an extra possession. Who knows, maybe get your first defensive touchdown of the year.
Yeah. Like what you said. Yeah, Mike, I need to get a new computer here soon. It just said like air have to shut down, and then I don't know. Whatever. We're back. Yeah. Dallas Turner, Vikings pass rush. Need to get to Browning. I'm sure you already did the whole 3 interceptions thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, 3 interceptions. Make Browning make mistakes and just get home, man. I mean, obviously I put Dallas Turner on here, but we need to see Grenard get home too. Did he get a sack last week, Grenard? No,
I don't think so.
What was our sacks last week?
I think it wasn't it Turner and I think what's his name? Jalen Redmond, I think.
Jalen Redmond. So Turner does not have.
I don't think so. No, I don't think Turner. No, Turner does. I don't think Grenard has one yet.
No, I mean, that's what I mean. Grenard doesn't have a sack this year. He needs to get home, and you need to bring the pressure. And we do not want to give Browner time. I mean, he's like Casey was mentioned earlier. He threw 3 interceptions last week. Last year, I think we got 1 pick on him, but he ended up having a really good game against us last year, and we cannot continue to have that happen. We need to get an interception. This week. We don't have a single interception either.
Yeah. And Norris, I guess you weren't here last week. We did do a quick run, or on Tuesday when we were on here. We did do a quick rundown of Skol Fest. We'll touch on that one more time because I don't think we mentioned it last week, but it was a great,
Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it was.
It was a great time. Good turnout. Everyone seemed to have a good time. Drinks were flowing. People were talking ball all night long. It felt like it was a major success. I mean, I know for sure the custom grains guys there, they were busy. We saw a lot of Skol Fest shirts. out and about and around the day after, kind of going to tailgates and watching the game and stuff. So Custom Grains, I thought they did an amazing job. Make sure to go check out their site for some apparel. Vikings,
and you got Skullfest apparel in the description as well.
Yeah, Skullfest apparel, and otherwise they have a bunch of other stuff on there as well. So make sure to go check them out. Give them some business. They did, again, great job. I know we had a little snafu to start, but Sean was amazing at getting all that figured out before the party started. And we had things rolling. We had things rolling by the time everyone started rolling in. So it was a great event, great showing, great work by all. I know Trayton with the silent auction stuff, it sounds like he did pretty well as well. So
yeah, he definitely did.
Good night all around for the business end of it. Plus just having a good time talking.
It was a big. I would even say I would even say like a leap forward compared to last year.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's obviously you just try to make it better every year. I feel like there's not even a question that we did that this year, and hopefully we can just continue to do that. But and Nor's meeting you and your son was great as well. So hopefully we keep seeing you come to those. I know we will, but yeah. Need Cashy back in the worst way. Yeah.
I honestly think when Cashman comes back, I think it's Cashman and Eric Wilson.
At this pace it definitely would not be surprising. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even say that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just he started off so hot, and last year he kind of started to come back down to earth a little bit with pace, and then this year it has been kind of a liability type.
This is a good point, T-Bass. He is a backup quarterback at the end of the day, though. We can make him throw some interceptions. We need to get at least one interception. But let's keep on rolling here. Because, I mean, that's obvious. I mean, he's a backup quarterback. Try to make a backup quarterback make mistakes.
As Max Brosmer says himself, you always got it. You prepare like you're the starter and prepare like you're one snap away. So it's no excuse.
Yep. Facts. All right. Keep on rolling here. Stop. I mean, this should be obvious. Stop the second best wide receiver in the NFL, Jamar Chase. Obviously, the focal point of that offense. They still have T. Higgins. They have Chase Brown. They have other talent there. But Chase, as soon as Browning went in, he went straight to Chase. Chase had over 160 yards last week. He came in, and I don't know if anyone else has seen this. I could probably I'll bring it up when we do the Twitter thing. But they asked Jamar Chase if he would do the gritty in US Bank Stadium, and he pretty much said he would do it if Justin Jefferson didn't want him to. Because I'm like, that's like still to this day, like that's still just a interesting friendship. Like you assume they should be best buds, but I believe like at one point they mentioned like, oh, I haven't talked to him in like over a year.
I don't know. Like that. I think it's just kind of tongue in cheek type stuff. I mean, I think they're still buds with their competitors. They both want to be the best, and they're both considered two.
And you're probably right there. You're probably right there.
I think it's a little bit more that because I know that's what they asked Chase, and he's just like, well, he doesn't talk to me anymore. He's too big.
That's what it was.
So
yeah,
like,
he's too big time.
It was a little bit of tongue in cheek.
Yeah. But it's usually Justin Jefferson just doesn't. It's Chase, which is kind of funny. Chase is being funny.
Well, I mean, like they did ask Jefferson about that today, and he just like said you and Jamar Chase, and he just kind of said, "I got to go out there and just play my game. We're both two of the best. We got to go do what we got to do."
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But again, they're both competitors. They both want to be the best. Like and like that, they really they don't have the time for it. Like they're too busy. And that's what Justin Jefferson said. Like I got to deal with what's inside our building, not worry about someone else's.
Yep. And speaking of that, though, I mean, if you're still gonna say that shit, you got to make sure the defense comes ready to kind of shut them up, though. Anyways, and that's exactly what we got to do. I mean, he's the one player on that offense you absolutely need to stop in this game, and try your best to. Obviously, I'm sure that's how every team thinks, but you do have a backup quarterback. It'd be feeling a lot different if it was Joe Burrow throwing the ball in this one. But this is a no-brainer. Like, do whatever you got to do. So far, it's like we have like the opposite season this year compared to last year, where our run defense was good and our pass defense was trash, and now our run defense has been trash, and our pass defense has actually been pretty solid based on what we're allowing wide receivers to do and stuff.
Or is that because these teams like we can run the ball against them all day, so let's not even throw. We'll just run until they stop it, and they don't.
Against us, we a
little bit of skew in that way. I think we were saying the same thing in the opposite direction last year. Why run against these guys when you can throw all over?
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. This is obviously our biggest test as far as in the secondary goes this year or this week. But getting to Browning will be big in that.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep it on moving though. We've got number 3.
What do you do with Jamar Chase? Just getting him the ball quickly so he can do his run after the catch stuff is what we have to do with Justin Jefferson. I don't think we haven't given him enough
I know
the ability to do that as much, unfortunately.
No, you just got they do a really good job most of the time with making sure Chase catches the ball at least 10 times.
Yeah, and that is one thing I think Justin Jefferson's he's probably the better technical route runner and all that stuff. But Jamar, that is one thing you got to give him is that run after catch ability is something.
Well, he's a big boy.
Worldly.
He's a big boy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hard to bring down, fast, quick.
Yep. But still not good enough to be the best in the NFL. Keep on rolling here. We already talked about how our run game was trash. Stop the run. Let's just do it. I know Casey has, so I think Casey can jump in on this one and give his overall opinion, including, the Chase Brown kind of being disappointing this year. But
yeah, I think what we looked yesterday, I think he had 37 carries for 90 yards, and one of those was a 37-yard run. I mean, Chase Brown was a guy that, especially if you want to look at the fantasy perspective, there's a lot of guys that were expecting some big things out of Chase Brown this year, and so far we just haven't seen it. I mean, is it offensive line? Sure, we know that Bengals offensive line is not very good. Joe Burrow gets hit all the time, and Chase Brown has been unable to really get much going in the run game, which is a good thing, which it could be a good thing for us, a team that's not confident in the run. I mean, obviously they're going to try to run the football. This could be a game where maybe you get back on track against running backs. And again, it does come down to the interior guys as well, because as we know, Pace has to tackle better, and we know that Eric Wilson's played pretty well since stepping in for Cashman. But when we brought in Allen and Hargrave, we knew that they weren't their bread and butter was pass rush, and they're not very great against the run. And then you got rid of your best run stuffer in Harrison Phillips, expecting bigger things from Jalen Redmond. So we do need those guys in the middle to step it up. And I'm sure on some running downs when LBR and Ty Ingram Dawkins get in there, it's like the interior needs to be better about getting after the run game. We got to be able to contain the edges against some of these running backs. But yeah, I mean, this might be a good get-right game. Or for the Bengals, it ends up being a get-right game, and Chase Brown ends up. This is where he takes off.
Which I do have him in fantasy.
Right. Hopefully it's our way to where we're able to kind of slow him down a little bit, get your confidence back in that run defense. But it's been pretty putrid, to say the least.
I mean, we've been doing this. Our defense, I mean, they're towards the bottom on a lot of things, but they just we have not been allowing a lot of touchdowns. So it's like at the end of the day, I mean, they've been on the field so much, like obviously, so especially if people are running good against you, obviously it's going to take a toll on our defense and things like that. So hopefully, even if that could just be all the difference is come in and have our offense stay on the freaking field longer and convert some third downs. We could have put that on here, convert third downs. And that could have been a big difference there. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, but again, I mean, you got to be able to do better against the run. Like Nick said, it's not like we're not talking about Bijan Robinson here. We're talking about Chase frickin' Brown. So we'll see.
Hey, Chase Brown had a pretty good season last year. I think he led like 3 weeks towards the end of the year in fantasy.
Right, so. but he's not Bijan Robinson.
No, not
that's the point. It's Chase Brown, not Bijan Robinson.
Well, even Bijan, that's one sad thing is Bijan Robinson. What was the stat last week that just running backs in general had 0 yards after contact when the Falcons played. Who was it? Who did they play before? Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, and then they come here and just run all over us. So that's kind of embarrassing. But
which again is probably attributed to the front of that. About that Tampa defense, where ours just hasn't been as stout, obviously.
Yeah. Moving along here at number 2, we've got some offense. We're talking about third down conversions, like all these things. It's just getting the pass game going. Obviously, we have not been able to see any of that other than the fourth quarter. Whether you want to blame that on JJ McCarthy or not, we need to figure something out. Casey, you mentioned that they're talking about getting some slants or some quicker throws in and things like that, especially on third and ones. Like I love the balls that KOC has to like go throw bombs there, but it is like the whole thing. Like if it's a play, then like run, like go for it on fourth down or whatever. But sometimes I'm even okay with just if you're getting no third down conversions, then maybe you should just like take a couple easy ones.
Right. Well, and I get it. Like it is the catch the defense off guard because they're expecting you to go for something short. But have a play call in your back pocket to go for it on fourth down or whatever if you're going to try that stuff, and don't do it all the time.
What a blow!
He does it all. Like that's been one of the biggest knocks on Kevin O'Connell is that his short yardage play calling hasn't been good, and this is why. Like if you mix in some other things, it's gonna be just fine. Like then it catches teams more off guard than just how they're doing it. But
yeah, at least you got to do something. I don't know. I think Jordan Addison coming back will definitely help that. Lone Wolf, that's fair. I'm honestly usually so biased that I try not to start players against the Vikings, but I kind of have no choice but to start Chase Brown.
I think it makes it more enjoyable because I like football, but you're always like, why do I want to watch this game? If you have a guy playing in fantasy,
well, yeah, I like that.
But then every time I watch, they don't do shit. So I guess it is.
Yeah, I like that outside of Vikings games. I like if you have to. I'm pretty good at. I pick the Vikings over though. If I have a guy in fantasy and he's playing against the Vikings, I don't sit there and kind of cry if my fantasy player doesn't do good, but the Vikings like whooped their ass or something like that. And then more of that, I'm like, well, that's why I probably shouldn't have started him against the Vikings. But
it's probably in, man.
Hey AJ, what's going on, dude? So yeah, get the passing game going and score some touchdowns. Like get in the red zone, throw the ball, or not just throw the ball. You got to run the ball too, but just like let's score some passing touchdowns early. Get things going. I'm hoping this game we can go out and just drive down the field on the very first. That's something that we've been good with KLC. Like every year is that very first drive. Like the middle parts have sucked sometimes, but the very first drives are usually pretty damn good. The scripted drives,
the plays, yeah. But then when teams adjust to him, how does he adjust back? And that's been a negative. But anyway, like a big thing though, and I know I wanted to mention this when we were talking about the injuries, but you popped out and it didn't give me a chance to because I had to panic and try to run the show for myself for a few minutes.
Bad.
But anyway,
you should be used to it by now.
but if you look at Christian Darrisaw coming back, like. Yes, it's nice to give him those extra couple weeks to recover, but just think what you're sending him back to, right? These first 3 weeks, and 2 of the weeks involve a travel across seas for 2 games, but you're bringing him back to Trey Hendrickson, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
you're bringing Christian Darrisaw back to probably the top 3 pass rushers in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 of the top 5 pass rushers in the NFL right now. Absolutely wild. So it's going to be kind of trial by fire to test that knee out. I mean, obviously, I'm sure because you assume Brian O'Neill has struggled at times, but it's still Brian O'Neill. You assume that these defensive coordinators are going to be like, oh, Darrisaw's back from a knee injury. Yeah, we're lining you up on him. You assume he's going to see a lot of those premier pass rushers.
He's going to fuck those boys up.
But then it will change the way. But I mean, with especially when he gets in there, gets those reps, it'll change the way that they can call protections to where you don't need to help, use your left guard or tight end to help out your left tackle, where you can trust Christian Darrisaw on an island against the best. Because when healthy, he is one of the best at his position. So
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I'm hoping he's back this week. I'm hoping he's back, and it is because he's full participant in practice. I mean, he's got to be close. It's like they're pushing it pretty far, it feels like, as far as getting him on the field. So I just hoping he's back. He is fully healthy, and he's been he's been on the field since minicamp. So it's not like someone that's just forced his way back and he's had 3 weeks of practice or whatever. He's been practicing for a while. So I think he can come back and he can be ready for this, even if they do try to bring the Hendricksons and stuff like that.
For sure.
All right, let's keep on rolling to our number one. This should be obvious for everyone. I know a lot of people already been calling it out, and that is Jordan Mason, the run game. Run the ball, give Jordan the ball 30 times, something like that. This is a game. Usually, I'm one of the only people in the camp of like, I don't know. I kind of like that. I was so sick of Zimmer running and pretty much all our offenses only running, that having someone like Kevin O'Connell coming in, and it's the opposite problem where you're complaining about him passing too much. I feel like that's a decent problem to have, but I'm over it this week. I think Jordan Mason is that type of running back that we've been needing for a long time, a guy that can go through between the tackles and break some tackles, and he has these little cuts. Like, we haven't really seen anything like that since probably Adrian. I mean, even Cook had a little bit of that, but even Cook was, I know your problem with Cook. I mean, he was getting beat up at the line of scrimmage a lot towards the end with the Vikings there. And Jordan Mason, he's just someone that is going to get you some yards almost no matter what, and kind of get through some contact, and something that we really want. And, I mean, this guy deserves a touchdown here soon. I'm expecting a touchdown from him, and he deserves a red zone or a goal line carry, and he hasn't got it. He should have had one last week, and hopefully we do see it this week, because I do expect I would not be surprised for him to score this one and, and get at least 20 touches or something. I don't know. But yeah, what's your thoughts on the run game and Jordan Mason?
Yeah, I mean, look, coming into this year, and again, if T-Bat's still in here, we said on paper this offensive line was supposed to be improved. I mean, we're going to have no Ryan Kelly this week, most likely, and no Darius hasn't played yet. But with the improvement of the offensive line and bringing in Jordan Mason, you would hope that we'd run the football more, right? And then you see what happened week 1. Nothing going on for 3 quarters. You finally start feeding the rock to Mason, to mainly Jordan Mason in the 4th quarter. The run game gets going, and just lo and behold, that opens up the rest of the offense, right? So we were going into last week thinking O'Connell would really start to say, you know what, that's what worked last week. Run the ball, take the pressure off our young quarterback, and we did not do that. Again, like Nick said, just the play calling was, pretty atrocious. None of really anything made sense there. Honestly, there's been no rhythm to the offense since week 1.
And he's catering to JJ McCarthy too much or whatever.
It is. And it's catering to McCarthy by not catering to McCarthy and letting him get beat up, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. It's just, and I hope this week he realizes, especially with a quarterback who's only been here for a couple weeks, that you do need to start pounding the rock early. And Jordan Mason has been one of the most effective offensive players on our team, if not the most effective offensive player on our team. And if you can get the run going and take some pressure off of that offensive line when it comes to pass rush, get some play action working off of that, it's going to make everything on this offense flow better. So yes, like you said, it was nice seeing O'Connell come in and start throwing the ball a bit more than the old Zimmer days. You still got to be able to run, but you need to be creative with it. And we need to see it more, because that's what we were hoping for coming into this year, is that he would really lean into running the football more. So the question's out there, because I was always like, no, he just didn't have the right personnel to run the football. Now we have it, and we've seen that it's worked, and we still haven't done it. So maybe he just doesn't want to run the ball. I don't know, but you got to do it this week. You got to put your pride away and realize this is what's best for your team right now, and probably going into the future, is to establish a running game. And with how good Jordan Mason has looked for us so far, you got to lean into that.
Well, especially if JJ McCarthy does come back and they do bring him back in the offense, it'd be really nice to get a real running identity by that point, instead of whatever we've been doing up to this point. So and rolling in this one, Cincinnati's been all right against the run this year, but no matter what, it's just, there's a lot of reasons other than just matchup reasons to get Jordan Mason the ball and see what he can do. I'm excited to see him. And I know Nick Riley's been calling this for a while. Obviously, it wasn't in place of, it wasn't considering a Aaron Jones injury, but Jordan Mason's been outpacing Aaron Jones in carry since week 1. So I'm excited, and I like Aaron Jones, and he's been really good in the pass game so far, but like we've said this even before on here, it would not be surprised if Jordan Mason's just the better straight up runner in comparison to Aaron Jones. And it is starting to feel that way for sure. That's why
the age difference too.
So I think it's going to be kind of exciting. Yeah, exactly. That's a big one there. Aaron Jones is 30 years old, but it'll be a lot of fun to see Jordan Mason as a legit bell cow for this team and see what happens. And I mentioned this before because he's someone that can take one. He can take big one. He can take big runs. And if he's only getting 9 carries a game, and I mentioned this on Bleacher Report, I think, where it's with Adrian Peterson, he could have 19 carries and not done a lot. And then the 20th carry, he takes it 70 yards to the house or something like that. Jordan Mason is that type of guy where you're he's going to break. I don't know if he's the guy that break one to the house a lot, but he's going to have some big runs. You just got to keep letting. That's the argument I think a lot when it comes to committees is against committees is I don't know. Sometimes it just takes a guy to get rolling. Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery. It's Jahmyr Gibbs when he's just the main guy, he'll break a couple big ones in comparison of when he's splitting everything with Montgomery every time.
Yeah,
so it'll be fun to see. He will help. Yeah, I know. That's what we need to have is we need the boy back here. Am I backwards right now? Oh, I am backwards. I didn't even notice that.
No, you're good.
Oh, it's just on my screen.
Yeah.
Never mind. I don't know why it does that. Keep it on rolling here. We're gonna do something. We kind of been doing it a little bit though. A vibe check. Go on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and kind of get an idea of what Vikings fans and Bengals fans are feeling. Probably not great for either of us, to be completely honest here. But let's take a peek here. I do want to click a couple things. Wait, I don't think I have. Let me hold on a second.
Yeah, we got to make sure we're not seeing any something that
non-football
YouTube wouldn't like very much.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. We just got to stay out of the comments, Anything can happen down there. This is just a hashtag Skol. I'm just going to check some stuff in here. I guess you got the boy Jake Reed coming back. Obviously, this is always funny. Cam Akers is back. And it's so funny that everybody, at least we didn't have to trade for him, though. That's the big positive this time around.
Didn't have to give up a conditional 6th rounder this time.
For 22-year-olds, don't worry, folks. Yeah, this guy. All right, shout out Skol rant here because
I need to try zooming in a little bit. Can't imagine someone looking at it on their phone. There we go.
Shout out to Skol rant here. The game is going to slow down for 22 years old. I think a lot of people forget that JJ McCarthy is the youngest starting quarterback in the NFL. Especially, I know no one's given Cam Ward any shit at all, and I'm pretty sure he has the worst QBR in the NFL over even JJ McCarthy. And he's 2 years older than JJ McCarthy. They're first, obviously you can argue more talent, but we've been seeing enough that JJ McCarthy's still been getting pass rush like crazy and the play calling hasn't been good. So shout out Skol rant. This is fair. 22. They're both 22. Pat McAfee.
And why? In your own end zone. Why? And why did you shot put the ball? Why? With your left hand. Why? In your own end zone. Why? In the fourth quarter against a division rival that you have to win. Why? Into the sky for the shortest pick 6 in the history of football.
Things early in the season starting to get warmed up. Wentz faking the handoff.
Oh, God.
And then the next play. Why? Carson Wentz wiggling. Why? Takes ball, balances with it on the ground. Why? Stands up, sees triple cover.
The what?
I was reading Nick's comment.
Oh, I haven't seen this video.
Yeah.
Pittman. Why? Give me that. Why? Michael Pittman. Through the 3 dudes, catches it. Why? Yeah. What a play! What a play! That is the Carson Wentz experience that I remember.
Hopefully, it's more on the positive side than that.
Yeah.
You got Justin Jefferson at least this time around. I'm going to click over here real quick. For the compared vets. Oh, we got some. What we've learned. I don't know what's going on with him so far.
Stud.
Oh, this. All right. This is it right here. If anybody hasn't seen this, we'll take a peek right here. Do you hear that?
Barely.
He doesn't want me to. I want to do
How about
it.
now?
The reporter's quiet.
I mean, if he doesn't want me to do it, then I'm going to do it now purposely. Yeah. I want to piss him off today.
Yeah, I want to piss him off a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I don't know about that.
That's just friendly.
I think so, but I like. I do, but it's like it's a little weird. It's a little. There is a little bit something. It's a little bit like these guys won a national championship together, type of thing, But you do make a good point. I mean, if I'm Jamar Chase and I'm like the alpha, I'm the guy on that LSU team who was supposed to be the projected number 1 pick whenever you came into the draft, everybody considered him the best. And then Justin Jefferson comes in a year earlier, ends up becoming the best, breaks records as a rookie, does the gritty, becomes the most popular dance in football. And then Jamar Chase at that point is kind of an afterthought.
And then Jamar Chase comes into the league. There's like 2 weeks where you're like, this guy can't catch a football. And then
I know. I know. It is kind of funny. He did it. How many? Yeah, I forget how many passes he dropped during that. But no, he can't let him do it. We can't let him do a gritty. You
got to give Jamar Chase his flowers. Incredibly talented receiver. Yeah. We all know that. Like no one's trying to say
he's the second best.
He's still the second best receiver.
Yeah. I'm okay with calling him the second best. I feel like it's all right. Yep, of course, this is always cool. They dreamed of this. Carson Wentz's family, friends, so many in North Dakota that he's going to be starting child. So that's just a really cool story. That part is like what's kind of exciting. Who knows? Maybe that's just enough to break back to his old MVP playing self. Job here, Vikings. We're in 2 games, but the film is pretty cut and dry. He's made some impressive throws. He's missed 2. No, it has not been perfect. It's never going to be early on. Yeah.
And a Micah Parsons who's not playing every snap has really just taken that defense.
Injury report, obviously, never good. Never good. Let's jump over here. That's what we got over here. So when is the perfect time to tell?
I like that jersey. Scroll up quick.
Burrow. Browning.
Did you flip it?
Browning is because it's number 6.
I love that. That's great. That's great.
And you probably have to use it a lot during the season, or at least, yeah. I mean, it's happened a decent amount of times. It seems like when's the perfect time to tell? The Bengals have never beat the Vikings in Minnesota. There's a first time for everything, right? Not this year. Not this year. Let me say that real quick. Let's do a little bit of trolling here. You always, if you troll,
Jamie, you realize what you just did. They're going to see the comment. They're going to click on our profile. They're going to see we're live. They're going to hop in here. They're going to start talking.
Oh, good. I dare you. I think we got the people in here who can handle that. Injury prone Joe Burrow is brutal. Yeah, that does suck. I know you're a big Burrow guy.
I do love me some Joey B.
If Jake Browning can help us squeeze out 7 of the next 12, Joe can return back up before the playoffs. That's wishful thinking. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, in JB6 we trust. All right, so we got a lot of people picking the Vikings this week. A lot of close games or close scores here today. And you remember what happened the last time? Jake, 300. Oh, yeah. Each touchdown. No one comment in here. I better just say something, you know? Let's drop one word in here. Fluke. The 2-0 Bengals are currently projected to finish the season. Take notes, Jake Brown. And they don't believe you can throw touchdowns. Take notes.
Oh, my God. Oh, W. Don't forget the W.
Just going on here to troll the other team.
Don't be that guy. You're the type. Oh, don't be that guy.
Oh, I'm that guy right now. It's too late. We're already 3 deep.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
All right. I think we got enough in there. Obviously, you know, I feel like that's one thing is the Vikings and the Bengals. They're 2-0 though. They're 2-0, but obviously you use a guy like Burrow, who some people will call the best quarterback in the NFL. You're feeling pretty down about that, I think.
Yeah. Do love me some Joe Burrow though. It sucks he got injured. It really does.
But yeah, I know we gotta. That's what's gonna be. Just go on here and shit talk. I know. I was hoping when I was on there we'll get like a notification or something back, just really spice things up. But, anyways, yeah, we'll keep doing stuff like that because I don't know. That is kind of fun. Just trolling some people. Anyways, final.
I want to talk about it. He's young, man. He's young. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. He's still Vikings first round pick 2027. Everything's gonna be fine. Yeah, he has not looked nearly the player that he was last year. Are they putting too much on his plate? Maybe. We'll see what happens. But again, first year of being a 3-facet player, he'll turn it around. I got faith. I got faith in Okoye that he's still gonna end up being first round.
Hopefully he does. So what? So like he's just getting picked on in secondary or what?
He had a really bad muff punt the other day. Like he was poisoning it, telling everybody to back off, and it took a bounce, and he went to touch it, and it slipped out of his hands, and they got the ball like the 5-yard line, and ended up scoring, and then he had another. I think he's had a bad fair catch, and then just hasn't been the force on defense that he was last year yet either. Notice that the PFF score has dropped quite a bit, but
that's
talented. He's gonna figure it out.
Hey, dude, it's not too
Hey, we never said when he was going to win the Super Bowl. We just said
he will. Yeah, dude, it's 2 weeks. He's got it. Are you kidding me?
But thank you for hopping in. Thank you for the comment.
Yeah, appreciate it. We'll take it.
I hope you watched the video. I hope you liked it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, it's all right. You still watched it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, predictions. What are we feeling?
You get back on the winning track. I know that. I think the offense starts to look better. I'm still calling it now. The offense looks good enough. I think the offense looks good. I think Carson Wentz settles things down. Still calling JJ McCarthy starts when he's healthy. But I think Carson Wentz rights the ship on offense a little bit. I think he comes in, brings some of that veteran presence that you need. And I think we find a way to eke this one out. I think 24-21. I think it's going to be a tight game. I'll say Will Reichard walk off 57-yard field goal. Find a way to pull it out. I mean, because in my mind, you can't consider yourself a team that you think might be able to make the playoffs if you lose your first 2 home games. Like, that's unacceptable. The fact that you lose that Sunday night game the way you did, you can't have that. You can't lose 2 in a row to a backup quarterback in Jake Browning. I know that team's got a ton of talent on it. T. Higgins, we haven't even talked about T. Higgins being their number 2 wide receiver. Right. Like, Jake Browning has a lot of talent on that offense. We know that. But you're still playing at home. That crowd better be there roaring like they were last week. And this team needs to put on a show for them and give them a reason to cheer. So you can't lose your first 2 home games and expect people to think you're going to go anywhere. So they have to find a way to win this one, 24-20 or 24-21. I think they come out firing. I think that defense plays well. I think we figured it around.
Yeah.
Turn around, figure it out.
And they have those talent, but we do know that their offensive line is not good.
True.
We should be able to take advantage of that. I mean,
backup quarterbacks and bad offensive lines. That's a great thing.
Yeah. Right. And obviously ours is supposed to be better. If you have Darius out there, we're feeling pretty damn good, I think, about that.
And then defense scares me, but we'll see.
Other than Hendrickson and is Hendrickson, right?
Hendrickson, yeah. Stewart if he plays.
And Stewart if he does play. Like, yeah, they got some guys there.
Was BJ Hill, the interior guy, wasn't he on that injury list too?
Oh yeah, he was. I think he was limited. He was limited though. But yeah, I mean, they got some guys on that defensive line, but overall, that defense is not super.
It's the same
great
as it was last year. Like,
yeah, it's middle of the pack. They didn't really do anything besides Stewart.
Might be short a corner too.
And they might be short a corner on top of that. So like straight up talent wise, like I'm still straight easily putting the Vikings up against them 100%. I mean, especially if you had Addison, I'm taking our pass catchers easily. So I don't know. Shit. Give me Burrow, switch the roll around. Shit. Oh yeah, facts. Yeah. And obviously they don't have Burrow. But even with Burrow, like we don't know what we're getting in Wentz, but even with Burrow, we should be the better team, even if they had Burrow. We just have more talent than they do. And it hasn't been meshing as good as we expected so far. But honestly, that's actually kind of an interesting thing that the Bengals are big.
These are 2 of the big guys that we do need.
On defense.
Yeah, because Pace in that run game has to be better tackling, and Grenard absolutely has to get after it this week. I mean,
against a bad
for sure
deal or offensive line. So
for sure, yep.
So hopefully it happens. Yeah, we'll see what's up. But anyways, anything else?
No, I think that just about does it. When did we want to talk about the 2K subs giveaway that we were going to do? Because we haven't gotten around to that yet. Because we've been trying to figure out scheduling with the week after Skol Fest. So maybe we'll talk about it over the weekend and get back to that on Monday, because we got to do that soon. Because obviously we're over 2K now, but
yeah, we're over 2K. But I mean, just so everybody knows, we still will be doing the 2K drawings, and then like Casey said, I'm not doing giveaways at this very moment, just because we're just trying to get back on track after Skol Fest and a couple other things. But we still are gonna have the 2K giveaway. We're just gonna pick a specific day for it, and we have to just figure it out. But we still do have JJ McCarthy will be back. We still have the PSA 10 JJ McCarthy rookie card. I got a Harrison Smith, who better be back this year, auto, Silver Prism auto, as well as a Jordan Addison autographed rookie card out of 100. We'll be giving away all 3 of these cards live.
And I got something sitting in the closet that I'll whip out next week when I.
Yeah. So we'll. Yeah. So we'll. We'll get all that together and make sure everybody gets taken care of on that. So it'll be good.
Yeah, but absolutely. Anything else from you before we hop off here?
I'm good here. Let's just go get that W.
Yeah, got to get the W. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully Victory Monday, discussing a nice Vikings W. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Great weekend. I guess not rest of your weekend. It's only Thursday. Have a great weekend. See you guys next Monday.
Let's go Vikes.